Well, the North Carolina Japan Center is extremely pleased and very honored today to be joined by Ms. Christine Vannais. She's the Chief Operating Officer at FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies. And we're very, very proud to be welcoming you to our corporate membership. And thank you so much for your support. We're looking so forward to working with you in the future in the spring. So I just wanted to turn it over to you, and I'd love to hear an introduction about you and your role and about the company.
Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. We are also really pleased to join the membership at NC Japan Center and work with you and meet all of the other members, hopefully in 2021 and into the future. So as Jonathan said, I'm Christine Vannais. I am the Chief Operating Officer of FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies here in North Carolina. We have a campus here in Research Triangle Park. And Jonathan asked me to talk a little bit about what our business is. And I'll start with that we are a contract development and manufacturing organization for biopharmaceutical products. And what that means is we help our clients take their biopharmaceutical therapies or vaccines through the pipeline, through the life cycle, if you will, of a pharmaceutical. And we help them by developing and scaling up and manufacturing these products, whether for the clinical trial supplies, and commercial manufacturing. And we are here in North Carolina, about 650 colleagues strong around the world, 3,000, just under 3,000 colleagues. And we here at North Carolina are working on 50 different projects. So we have extreme diversity in the types of programs we work on, and we have many different clients we help. It is quite a complex process, biopharmaceuticals in general, and it's very highly regulated. So in order to help maybe illustrate what the service offerings and the type of work that we do, we'd like to share a short video with you so you can see our state-of-the-art facilities and our 4 locations around the world and get a feel for the equipment. And also you'll see some of the fabulous colleagues that we have working with us.
At FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies, we develop processes to enable the manufacturing of life-saving therapies for our customers' patients. As a contract development and manufacturing organization, we have extensive experience working with DNA-based technologies. We make therapies from living organisms such as E. coli bacteria, insect cells, viruses, and Chinese hamster ovary cells, among others. As a partner, we offer our customers a total solution to their development and manufacturing needs, from preclinical investigations to commercial production. We bring unrivaled technical expertise in areas such as process and analytical development and late-phase process characterization. In the advanced therapy space, we have an established team of virologists with deep understanding of viral vectors and virus-replicating platforms, and extensive experience in the scale-up and GMP production of viral products. Our in-house developed expression platforms, Paveway and Apollo, have made us world leaders in the delivery of microbial, mammalian, and viral therapeutics. Over the last decade, we have solidified our position as the leading CDMO in the development, scale-up, and GMP production of insect cells expressed therapies. Our manufacturing approach is well-established and protocol-based, and our regulatory record is outstanding. With more than 280 trained scientists in our network, we develop manufacturing processes that make therapies viable for complex molecules like monoclonal antibodies and virus-like particles, as well as fusion proteins, bispecifics, conjugated molecules, viral products, and advanced therapies. We take great pride in working with partners dedicated to improving the lives of people all over the world. We are proud members of the FUJIFILM family, a global company with a worldwide presence. FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies, partners for life.
So, coming back from the video, I think we have a much better understanding about what FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies does and all of your operations. It's incredibly impressive. And I just had a few questions about your company after this video here. How did FUJIFILM Diosynth first come to North Carolina?
That's a good question, Jonathan. There is a long history. The site here in North Carolina has actually been established here for 23 years. And through the journey, we have been a contract development and manufacturing organization. And we were acquired by several different pharmaceutical companies in our past. The most important pivot point was in 2011, when a joint venture between FUJIFILM and Mitsubishi purchased 2 sites from Merck, acquired 2 sites from Merck. So at that point in North Carolina, we were a Merck facility, and we had a sister site in the UK that was a Merck facility. And this joint venture from FUJIFILM owned 80% and Mitsubishi 20%, purchased those entities to start their biological CDMO business line. And as you all know, these companies are very strategic, and innovation and manufacturing is at the core of what they do. And branching into additional pharmaceutical and healthcare initiatives has been part of their plan. They have a very large division of healthcare, and we are an important part of that. So it's a very strategic acquisition in 2011 that took the 2 sites and started what is now the Bio CDMO division. Since that time, the investments have continued. What we were able to demonstrate to our owners is that we can deliver reliability of what we offer to our clients. We do what we say we're going to do. And with that came more investment, including an acquisition of a site in Texas and then expansion there. There's also been the 4th site, which is in Denmark, was purchased and acquired in 2019, August of 2019. That's a very large commercial mammalian facility. And so now those are the 4 sites we have: North Carolina, the College Station, Texas facility, Teesside, United Kingdom, and Hillerød, Denmark. But we continue to grow. And so although we've been doing this business here, we have really become a much larger entity, and really allowing us to expand into new innovation spaces. And we are focusing on delivery of 3 different modalities. And so in the biopharmaceutical area, there is a lot of different types of technology that these molecules, we've heard a lot about this through a lot of the COVID vaccine discussions. People are learning about the biopharmaceutical industry a lot. What we offer is microbial fermentation, cell culture processes, and then advanced therapies. And so we have a very specific target we're going after, and we have very specific growth targets for the business as well.
Well, thank you for that. That's a wonderful history and an even deeper overview of the operations and locations that your company has, really all over the world. That's very exciting. I wanted to know about how the Morrisville location, or your people there, and how all of you have adjusted and pivoted during this challenging time with the pandemic. Would you mind just talking a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Actually, I'm pretty proud of the work we've done here. And so as the onset of the pandemic, the priority number one is safety of the employees, safety and health of the employees. And that thread has remained very strong throughout the duration. I would say that one thing I would describe our business is flexible, and we demonstrated that flexibility through the pandemic as well. We, of course, followed the CDC guidelines, but those changed very quickly, especially in the first few months of the pandemic. And we were able to partner with our local biotech and other pharmaceuticals that are in the area. NC Bio had great resources and calls and surveys. We had great connections with the local departments here, as well as some on-site occupational health nurses, which that to me was a very strong place for us to branch out in. Because of our business, we had PPE in place. We had a lot of the disinfectants. So, from some other businesses, we already had a head start on being able to get and keep a lot of the materials and supplies you needed to continue operations. We employed what is now basic, the 3 W's, of course, but many more things than that. Temperature screenings. We did ask employees to work from home, those that could do so, but we do have a lot of on-site work that had to continue. So things like separating the shifts, breaking groups into smaller entities, making sure that we could maintain the social distancing and follow all the guidelines. Of course, we moved to Zoom and other online for a lot of meetings. And as a client-based business, that's a lot of interactions that we would have had in person. Now we had to learn, how to be efficient and effective with those remotely. So, challenges there, but a lot of good lessons learned. The temperature screening and employee screening process initially began as a 24/7 drive-through tent service in one of our parking lots. And then as time evolved and we found some other technology, we are now using a kiosk-based system where it's a self-administered checklist and temperature taking, and then you put a band on. So there's a visual indicator. So we continue to employ a lot of the technology wherever we can. And we also had great learnings amongst our 4 sites. I would say that communication was very important, though, as things changed quickly. How you got information out and how you continued to update people on the new requirements was really, really important. So using communication in all different modes, from emails to videos to in-person discussions to text messages and any different visual signage we could employ to really drive home what the requirements were. And I'll say we've been very successful about keeping the operations going here and keeping people safe.
Well, that's, I'm sure, certainly a testament to your leadership and the people that, there with you and on your teams. And I'm very happy that has worked out. It certainly is an incredibly fluid situation, isn't it?
It is.
Gosh. Okay. Well, I also wanted to know a bit about FUJIFILM Diosynth's plans for the short, mid, and long term. Of course, again, this is a very fluid situation right now with the pandemic, but I'm very curious to know about that.
Jonathan, I think short term, I described that we have the 4 sites around the world, and all 4 sites have ongoing expansion projects. So not only did all remain operational, but at the same time, there's some form of construction going on to expand our capabilities. And For North Carolina here, we actually did the groundbreaking the end of February of 2020. So, just before the pandemic, we're shovels in the ground and we're excited and broke ground on the expansion here. So just here in North Carolina, we have an expansion that adds microbial recovery and purification processes, more the downstream, 4 suites there, and on the mammalian side, additional purification processes and an on-site warehouse. So the construction has continued. The more delays really from weather than COVID, thankfully, but that added capacity and additional capacity to help our clients deliver the clinical and commercial active pharmaceutical ingredient that will come online in 21 through the spring and through the summer. Because each area is separate, it'll come online over a phased duration, but that will allow us to deliver more of these important medicines into the clinic or continue supplying that commercial. You can see behind me, Partners for Life, our core mission, advancing tomorrow's medicine. That advancing tomorrow's medicine, a piece of that is about having space and capacity for the new molecules that are coming through the clinical pipeline and being able to have that security of supply for the commercial products. But every site has its great expansions that are in short term, and this year will come online some added capacity. The mid and longer term, there continue to be a lot of growth projects and opportunities around the network. We're continuing to see how we can fill the market demand with our services. January 7th of this year, we had issued a very large press release, and this is announcing an investment of a $2 billion facility that will be in the US, and it is a large-scale cell culture facility, end-to-end services. So from the very start of the process to filling into the vial or syringe and labeling and packaging it. So the first end-to-end, a very, very large investment here for the United States. It will be similar to the services that are being offered and expanded in Denmark. So it is really a real strategic approach. And this investment, the build of this size, takes years to build and come online. So that's really, I think, a good example of the mid to long-term type projects that we have. And we're continuing to evaluate in those 3 modalities, fermentation, the cell culture, and advanced therapies, where we can continue to grow.
Yes, I'm sure that everyone saw the announcement about the parent organization of FUJIFILM, looking for that $2 billion expansion, and that's just going to be an incredible facility.
Yes.
Thank you for detailing that and your plans for the future. Of course, North Carolina State University is a leader in STEM education research. We're very proud to foster and mentor our students toward their career goals and where they want to go. May I ask about FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies in terms of STEM fields, for new hires, and then also non-STEM fields? Really, what are the core things that you're looking for?
The having the science and technology background is critical to find those individuals with experience, but also education. And really for us, that's biotechnology, biochemistry, protein sciences, engineers. We're building world-class facilities that are very highly automated. So engineering, end-to-end, those types of backgrounds and educations are really some of the key staff. But then you also need to have the quality engineer, and you need to have the analytics, so the quality control or methodologies to develop the test methods and the techniques required to analyze the proteins. All of that falls definitely under the STEM realm. And I would say what we look for is people with those educations and backgrounds, but also we're looking for more the soft skills. You know, in our business, we are client facing. So, you know, really great communication skills, positive energy, and you know, we use the term Genki here. So we want people with enthusiasm and passion for what they do, whatever it is they do. And so those are things that we actively look for and interview for and try to pull out when we're having interviews, when we're working with interns or co-ops, for staff that have that zest for and passion for whatever that they're delivering. Because there are a lot of support functions that stand underneath the very scientific staff that we have.
Well, thank you for that wonderful overview. That is certainly that concept of Genki, that energy and that positivity and optimism and everything we do is one of the most essential things that we need, especially now.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for that overview. Christine, I have one more question for you regarding FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies manufacturing of the COVID vaccine. Could you give us a few words about that?
Yeah, I would love to. Normally, as a contract development and manufacturing facility, we cannot share our client information because it's confidential. In this particular case, we are happy to share that we've partnered with the firm Novavax, a Maryland-based company, and this is public knowledge, and we jointly agree we can share this because we are doing some really extremely important work with them. We are scaled up and manufactured their novel coronavirus vaccine, and we have been in production since July. We have been working 24/7 to deliver as many possible doses as we can, and we've continued manufacturing here. Pretty exciting is we've also transferred or extended the manufacturing into our Texas facility and also in the UK. So it's a program that we're doing at now 3 different facilities. The teams are really working very closely together and right along with our Novavax partner to ensure safety, efficacy, and delivery of this really important vaccine. We were able to really jump in and get started right away because this vaccine uses a cell culture technology that we are experts in here. And this is one of our strengths and one of the things that we've been working on for years in this particular cell culture platform. We have been doing for years here and have all the expertise, the state-of-the-art equipment, and we're able to pivot and begin manufacturing very, very quickly. And we've done that along with having our standard regulatory processes support us along the way. So we have really strong regulatory history here, a very good relationship with the health authorities, not only in the FDA, but around the world. And our systems are top notch. So we're able to get in and really be able to deliver this quickly. The program itself and the vaccine is owned by Novavax, as every other program, but we are really an essential part of the supply chain for them, providing the active pharmaceutical ingredient for them. We don't take it all the way to the vial or the syringe. In this case, we are manufacturing what is technically called the drug substance, which is the bulk active pharmaceutical ingredient.
Well, thank you very much for that overview. And FUJIFILM Diosynth is absolutely and obviously a huge contributor at this very essential time to get this vaccine to produced and to as many people as possible and as quickly as possible. So thank you very much. We are absolutely incredibly excited to be working with you. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you and your staff are incredibly busy, Please stay safe and healthy, and we're looking forward to seeing all of the wonderful innovations and products coming out of FUJIFILM Diosynth Biotechnologies in the future.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Have a safe day.
Thank you.